Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Numithrandor, and we're back here in Genshin Impact with yet another event quest. This time, Endless Forms Most Martial. The battlefield is constantly changing and never static. Only by grasping new opportunities as they arise can victory be guaranteed. Set up a suitable party based on the special characteristics and effects present, using the advantages they grant to secure your triumph. Now this one doesn't seem to have much in the way of story. Frankly, it looks like all it is a bunch of battle challenges. But that's fine for the time being. I'll give Treacherous a go for this, I think. Let's see, so the rewards, 50 primos, and Guide to Equity. Oh, okay, so they are giving multiple different, well, guides as rewards. I thought for a sec that it would only be the Guide to Equity, but this is fine. So, Event 1, Swelling Thermal Vortex. Flames of Fury respond to the roaring thunder. After a character triggers an overload reaction, your party will earn powerful buffs. Take advantage of elemental reactions to gain the upper hand. Okay then. So it looks like we get 2 characters to use as a trial. And then everything else is up to us. So, given my current setup, I think... Now, I would use Chevreuse here, but... my Chevreuse is only... C2, I think, or C3 at most. And her talents are still a bit upgraded. Again, it'd been lovely if they actually gave her out again. She would have been fantastic on Clarin's banner. But, no, we just didn't get her. So I'll give Toma a try here. Again, Toma also is at very low constellations, if any. And my Toma isn't built yet, so this'll be a decent trial to see how well he would work alongside Clarind. After all, he is, to my knowledge, the only pyro shielder in the whole game. Then again, Natlan is coming out soonish, so we'll see how long that bloody status lasts. In Endless Forms Most Martial, you need to defeat opponents in the specified manner to accumulate progress towards the challenge goals. Defeating them in other ways will not grant progress toward challenge goals. So perhaps I should bring on Chevreuse after all. Well, at least I do have Toma, so overload is still possible. Defeat opponents to gain phase variance. Once you have enough phase variance, you will enter phase shift for a certain duration, gaining powerful buffs that can help you complete the challenge goals quickly. Defeat opponents in the specified manner to gain phase variance more quickly. Challenge. After a character triggers an overloaded reaction, the elemental mastery of all party members is increased by 180 for 6 seconds. For 20 seconds after entering phase shift, when a party member triggers the overloaded reaction on an opponent, A vortex that sucks opponents in will be created at that opponent's location. This effect can be triggered up to once every 6 seconds. Well, okay then. My Clorind is almost fully built. And has Miss Splitter, because I simply didn't have the opportunity to get her weapon. So let's see how well this does, and whether or not we can advance the prerequisites enough to get a decent score here.
You are not welcome. Don't get too close. Supporting fire.
By royal decree.
Loaded.
I'm getting
Shoot on sight.
Shadow Raven. Black Knight.
Okay.
Patience.
Allow me.
Ooh, ouch.
Time to finish this.
Well, that didn't go well.
Fire it up. Today. I got you covered.
Odds repeat.
Let's heal Clorind up right quick.
Hunt them down.
Mushrooms.
Supporting fire.
Hold the line.
Ready.
Gotta say, Toma's shield is not impressing me.
You are not welcome here. As you wish, main Fräulein.
And we got frozen by it.
Into the shadows.
I'm getting sick of
Don't get too close. Here's backup.
By royal decree. Hold the
Okay,
line.
his pyro application is decent, though. Like I said, I don't use Toma, so
Fire it up.
my knowledge of his usefulness is somewhat limited.
Time to testify. Loaded. Today. I got you covered.
Odds repeat. Allow me.
Okay. Okay, so the answer was no. No, we didn't actually manage it. Okay, let me go. Yeah, I thought Overloaded was Pyro plus Electro. So I guess... So I guess I didn't have enough Pyro going into that. Okay. Let's try this again. This time we'll replace Kokomi with my Shanling. So everything is Pyro and Electro. Okay. Let's try this and see how this one goes. My guess is that I simply had too much Electro between Clorind and Fischl. I was killing everything fast enough, but not with overload reactions. Okay.
You are not welcome.
Into the fire! Eat this! By royal decree!
Check this out. Here's backup.
Hunt them down.
Now you're testing my patience. Gotcha. Time to go to work. Fire it up. Huh? Supporting fire.
Wings of darkness! Come! Hey, yeah! Bubba, get up!
Ready.
Now you're testing my patience.
I'm getting odds revealed, but nice and spicy. Eat this!
Following orders. New punch.
Evil ways. Shoot on sight.
Following orders. New punch. Following orders. Today.
That seems to be doing better.
Got you covered. Don't get too close. Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Bubba, get them! Hey, yeah!
Into the shadows.
Okay.
By royal decree!
Here's backup.
Nice and spicy!
Okay. Okay, so it was the fact that I was killing them, but not with overload reactions. Okay. So we do have to be a bit careful with these challenges. It's not as simple as kill everything with... kill everything while occasionally doing reactions. Concentrated cleaving collapse. Faced with an onslaught of explosions, even the most tenacious defense will be utterly annihilated. After a character triggers an overload reaction, the destructive power of Pyro and Electro will be greatly increased. Make good use of this effect to rend asunder the formation of your foes. Alright. Then they give us Clarin and Chevreuse to try this time. So, in that case, I will use Chevreuse. And I think we'll still go for Fischl and Shunling as my backups. Toma wasn't a bad choice, certainly. Simply... I'm more used to Zhongli's shield. So his... Toma's, that is... just wasn't impressive by comparison. Okay, after character triggers an overload reaction, all party members will gain 10% pyro and electro damage for 5 seconds. And that can stack up to 5 times, so 50%. For 20 seconds after entering phase shift, the initial phase will be enhanced. After a character triggers an overload reaction, the pyro and electro damage bonus received by all party members is increased by 20% for 5 seconds. Okay then.
Drop your weapons! You asked for it! At the front pits, into the fire! You...
Ready.
Shadow Raven! Look! Stop right there! Hands run! Ah!
Into the shadows. Time to testify.
Eat this!
Timing was a bit off on that one.
Odds revealed by...
Drop your weapons.
Justice will prevail!
Loaded.
Ugh.
Shoot.
You're toast!
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Final warning!
Into the shadows.
Okay. Oh, got clipped.
By royal decree! You asked for it! Stop right there!
Shoot.
Yeah, these guys are pretty darn resilient.
Midnight Phantasmagoria! Drop your weapons!
And for
Hunt
that
them down.
reason, it's actually hard to kill them
Loaded.
within the time frame necessary to actually get the overload kill.
At the frying pan, into the fire! Eat this! Odds reveal! Stop right there! Justice will
Yeah, I think I found it easier with Toma to get the overload kills in.
Boba, get them! Wings of darkness! Hey,
Okay, that did it. Yeah, Toma was a little easier. Simply because his was a constant uptick of fire damage. As long as his burst was active, you would get plumes of fire whenever you attacked. Chevreuse was a little slower on that. I suspect that if you had... Well, if you weren't specifically trying to kill with overload reactions, then Chevreuse is just fine. But having to kill with the reaction made her suboptimal. Next up, Arcing Electric Surge. Abnormal energy activity in the area has enhanced Hydro and Electro, making them even more devastating. Make good use of this effect to continuously wear down the numerical superiority of your enemies. So just Hydro and Electro, I don't have to kill with a specific reaction? I guess we'll see, won't we? And they give us a version of Raiden. Ah, there we go. Defeat 22 opponents affected by Electro Charged. Challenge info. Initial phase. All party members have received a 35% Hydro and Electro damage bonus. Phase shift. For 20 seconds after entering phase shift, when opponents affected by Electro Charged are hit, the shockwave will be released to their position, dealing AoE damage. Well, that makes things a fair bit easier now, doesn't it? And in this case, I have my own group to go with. Normally I would put Zhongli as the final slot here, but considering we're only really interested in Electro and Hydro reactions, I'll put Fischl again. The only downside to this team comp is a lack of a healer for Farina's team-wide damage. But Neuvillette offsets that a bit, because his source water drops heal him whenever he uses them. And that causes Farina to heal the whole team a little bit. Not a perfect setup by any means, but it should be good enough for this.
Settle.
Strike a pose! By royal decree!
Silence.
You are taking a long time to die.
There is no escape.
Shower me with
Be not perturbed. I am unscathed.
Let the mighty be humbled.
Ooh, that hydro res. But as always, whenever you have a trial that you can use New Valette on, rather trivializes things now, doesn't it? Okay, on to the next. Polarized Conduction Overload. Here, enemy formations are dense, crowded, and chaotic. When multiple opponents are electrocharged, characters' damage will be enhanced. Make good use of this effect to break them like brittle twigs. Yeah. And they want me to use Kokomi or Beidou. I think not. Defeat 24 opponents affected by electrocharged. Initial phase. When 3 or more opponents on the field are affected by electrocharged, all party members deal 50% increased damage. Phase shift. For 20 seconds after entering phase shift, when a character's attacks hit an opponent, the shockwave will be unleashed at that opponent's location, dealing AoE animo damage. This effect can be triggered up to once every 4 seconds. Once again, New Valette Farina. Raiden, and might as well just throw Fischl on again for maximum lightning effect. I'm not anticipating much difficulty for this trial either. Not with New Valette once again.
Shine down!
Oz, repeat.
Yeah, the Animo explosion alone is gonna kill a lot of stuff for me.
Silence!
I'm getting sick.
You're surprisingly durable.
Well timed.
Great, it's not going to help you any.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Illusion shattered!
Settle down.
Yep, the Animo explosions are just a really nice bonus here.
Happy to oblige!
Yep, didn't even need to swap out to somebody else, but not like it cost me anything. And on to step 5. The feeble felled by frost. The howling winds whittle icicles into keen spears that skewer all. When opponents are affected by frozen, their defense will be decreased. Continually weaken your foes and seize victory from their frozen fingers. And they give me Ayaka to use. Well, I don't think I'll actually use Ayaka for this. Honestly, New Valette might still be a better choice. Well, let's see. Well, actually, I don't have Ayaka, so it would actually be kind of nice to actually get to play her for a bit. So, with that in mind, we're probably going dual hydro. So in this case, we'll go Farina and Kokomi. Actually, I do have Rosaria. Maybe. And then Layla for some extra cryo and a bit of survivability, perhaps. So, defeat 10 opponents affected by frozen. Initial phase. When opponents are affected by frozen, their defense is decreased by 30%. Phase shift. For 20 seconds after entering phase shift, the crit damage of all party members is increased by 60%. Okay. So the question will be whether or not Farina, by herself, can apply enough hydro to get everything frozen. I suspect she will. And I only need to kill 10 enemies that are frozen. So we'll see how this goes.
Punishment! My guiding stars! Cold! My... Whirling snow! Ha! Hip! Ha! Embrace the ice! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! The night is cold. Stars, shine. Yeah! Strike a pose! Take
Okay,
flight!
so that'll definitely work. It's just not especially powerful team setup.
Shiver! You can't run! My apologies! Yeah! Let the world collide! Not now. Cold. Mine to command. Judgment!
Ooh. That's a problem.
Sakura swirl! The night is cold. Don't be scared.
Okay. We've healed a bit, so now
Strike a pose!
back into the
Not
fray.
now. You can't run! Punishment! Whirling snow! Coming Satchel Art! Sumetsu! My guiding stars! Stars, shine for light!
There we go. Yeah, a much harder round. Because I didn't quite get the team composition right. Still, hardly a failure. Racked by rending rhyme. The chilling cold cuts to the quick, ferrying all foes to frosty funerals. After the total time enemies have been affected by frozen is long enough, those enemies will lose HP. Use the combination of hydro and cryo to resolutely and coldly shatter their assault. I'm curious, do I have to shatter them, actually? No, defeat 8 enemies affected by frozen. Okay. In this case, I think I'll go... I don't actually care for using Ayato, honestly. Should I? You know what? Since he's here, I'll give it a go. It wouldn't do to have a go with the sister and then leave the brother out of it. He'd think I was playing favorites now, wouldn't he? And unfortunately for him, he'd be right, too. Oh well. We'll go Layla again. Okay, let's see how this goes. Challenge info. Initial phase. Whenever the total time opponents have been affected by frozen exceeds 3 seconds, they will lose 25% of their max HP. Phase shift. For 20 seconds after entering phase shift, damage taken by opponents affected by frozen will be increased by 50%. Yes, it occurred to me when I was using Rosaria that Ganyu might actually be better for keeping the entire room frozen. Ganyu's burst does come with a sizable AoE. Far larger than Rosaria's, in fact. It's actually one way that Ganyu, despite me not using her for her archery, is still an effective party member.
You're born of ice and frost. All hail.
Because the burst of hers still has quite a bit
Mine's the command.
Be still.
of potential value for this.
Mind the deluge.
Not now. Stars, shine for me. Blaze over. Access denied. Strike a pop.
Cascade.
If you didn't have them losing 50% of their, 25% of their health
Coming
every so
Sato.
often, it would be a fair bit less effective, but
All hail.
considering they do still lose all that
Be
HP,
still.
this is a very easy challenge for Ayato.
No touching. Time to shine.
Cascade.
Not
Both
now.
Ganyu
Don't be
and
scared. Born of ice
Layla's
and
bursts
frost.
were down
Blaze
for a
over.
second there. Not that it mattered over much. Not in the grand scheme of things. Okay. On to challenge number 7. Ooh, thermal expansion and contraction. Frequent and intense swings in temperature can have wondrous effects on combat. The destructive force of pyro and cryo you wield has been enhanced as a result. Make good use of this effect and give no quarter, defeating all comers. Okay, so complete 10 times. Defeat an opponent within 3 seconds of triggering a melt reaction on them. Initial phase, all party members receive a 35% pyro and cryo damage bonus. Phase shift, for 20 seconds after entering phase shift. When a character's attack hits an opponent, a shockwave will be unleashed at that opponent's location, dealing AoE pyro damage. This effect can be triggered up to once every 4 seconds. Okay, so they want me to use Ganyu and Shanling. But I've got both of them already. The downside is that I have some pyro units, but my only pyro 5-star is Diluc. I don't think this will be too much of a bother for him, though. We'll have Shanling backing him up. I will throw in Ganyu, of course. And probably Layla ought to wrap it up nicely. I was worried that we weren't moving for a second there. Because for just a second it seemed like it might have been frozen. Which would have been rather ironic given the challenge we're doing.
You're toast! Out of the frying pan! For Rex Lapis! No touching! Stars, shine for me!
Burn!
My guiding stars! Don't be scared! Born of ice and frost! Blaze over!
This might be a little troublesome.
Burning disc.
You are not in the bubble.
The night is cold. Stars, shine for me! No touching! Boba, get them!
Okay.
My guiding star! All hail! Access denied. Don't be scared. Eat this! Nice and spicy!
Okay.
Target practice.
Oh, actually killing you in time might be difficult.
The night is full. Stars, shine for me.
Your
No touching.
sacrifice is ready.
You're toast! Born of ice and frost. For Rex Lapis.
Raptor waves and rise a storm!
My guiding stars. Cold.
Where do you
Nine to
think
command.
you're going?
Access denied.
Some target practice.
Not now. Born of ice and frost. This is long overdue. It's the fire.
Yeah.
Raptor waves and rise a storm!
Ooh, I just made it. Yeah. My D-Luke is relatively well built up, but he's not on par with any of my real heavy hitters. Those at the moment being Nuvalet, Alhaitham, Navia, and Clarand. So, last one. It's a self-sharpening sword. With the aid of ice, the explosive potential of Pyro will burst forth. After rapidly attacking enemies, melt damage dealt to foes increases. Make good use of this effect to liquidate them completely. Ah, and we're saved. We get to use Arlecchino for the final round. Alas, I did miss out on her during her first run. Well, with any luck, we'll be seeing her again. And hopefully, I'll be able to get her next time. But we shall see, I suppose. Now, I'm vaguely aware that Arlecchino doesn't like being healed, so we won't have a healer on the team this time. So, challenge objective. 12 times, defeat an opponent within 3 seconds of triggering a melt reaction on them. Challenge info, initial phase. After defeating 2 opponents within 4 seconds, all party members' damage dealt by triggering melt reactions increased by 75% for 15 seconds. Phase shift. For 20 seconds after entering phase shift, when an opponent's HP is lower than 50%, the damage taken by that opponent increases by 50%. Oh well. Arlecchino is allegedly one of the most powerful attackers in the game. So here's hoping that this goes more smoothly than my D-Luke run did. Alright.
Stars, access denied. You're toast!
Transfixed!
Cold, nine to command. No touching. For Rex Lapis. Booba, get them! Eat this!
Laid bare, everlasting as the moon!
Now that is a damn cool burst animation.
Transfixed!
The night is cold. Don't be scared. Born of ice and frost. At the fire pit, into the fire!
do kind of regret not getting Arlecchino, but oh well.
Not now. Blaze over.
Like I said, there's always next
Access
time.
denied. Boba, get them!
Laid bare.
Taking longer than I would like to kill you guys.
The night is cold. Cold. Mine to commit. Nice and spicy.
Transfixed.
Okay. Halfway.
My guiding stars. Don't be scared. At the fry pan.
Overruled.
Just one more.
The night is cold. No touching. This is long overdue. You're toast. Nice and spicy.
Witness my rise.
Now that was a nice and stylish way to finish. And with that, we've now completed all of the trials. And now we collect our rewards. Well, as always, the easiest of the trials were specifically the ones where you could just blast away as Nouvelette. Well, Arlecchino did respectably, especially considering that I simply had no idea how to use her properly. A very important point to remember that I played her trial run once or twice, but haven't actually got to play much, if any, with her. Not to mention that they don't always build the character all that well for you. So it's not as if we got to see what high-end artifacts and weapons would do on her. But all that's left is to collect the Battle Pass reward, which also conveniently maxes out our Battle Pass for this term. Let's see. I'll go for Admonition this time. Let me see. I'm curious. I have partially built Tainari. Ah yes, I was right. Admonition is indeed his, skill book. So I may actually build Tainari a bit more. We shall see. But I suppose that more or less wraps this up. Nothing more to this particular event, no story to go over. So, I think we'll just end it here. As always, if you've enjoyed this, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, have a good day.